So this is Santiago bus station on my way back to Sarria. On this bus here with quite a few other people. Quite a few people there, peregrinos. Glad I got my ticket before. You can't buy a ticket before in advance of the day, which is a bit annoying, but I got mine earlier, so hopefully there's a space for me on the bus. Andana Hostel, this is where I stayed when I was in Sarria before, and now we have moved into October. And yeah, I'll explain as we go along what happened and why I left the Camino when I did, but I'm back at the exact spot I left. And I'm leaving Sarria today. And I think it's warmer today than it was in August. It's so nice here. Anyway, Santiago awaits. So my first Camino sign, and just crossing over here. First water. First yellow arrow. So I took the bus today from Santiago to, you may have seen some pictures before, to here, Sarria, and I was amazed at how many people. The bus route kind of follows the Camino a lot of the way, and I was amazed at how many people were walking, even kind of like around 1 o'clock, although it gets light quite late here in Spain at the moment, so I guess people start later, but saw a ton of people, so accommodation's going to be really challenging. Oh, nice to be back though, and to finish off the job. Already out of breath. I could have just not told you that it was October. I could have just pretended that I was still walking at the end of August. You probably wouldn't have known any difference because of the weather. It's just, yeah, there's kind of a really good week coming up, and I just couldn't resist coming back up here. I live in Portugal now, so it's not far to come. And I mainly went back to Portugal before because I had to sort some paperwork out for my residency. And to be honest, I haven't really got any further with it. A really good friend of mine as well, she was in Portugal for a bit of a trip, so I joined her as well. And yeah, here I'm back, refreshed and ready to take on the crowds on the way to Santiago. Ponte da Aspera, an old bridge, and only been walking a little bit, barely 10 minutes, and already out into the countryside and outside of, on the outskirts of Sarria, and 113 kilometers to go, just over. And already just saw a couple of pilgrims. It's quite late in the day. It's actually, the bus was a bit late getting in. It's it must be gone 3 o'clock now. It stays stays light until around 8:30. So still have plenty of time to walk. Yeah, it's really hot today. I think it's like 25 degrees. I don't think that's typical for this area in October. I mean, it's very early October, but it's yeah, it gets quite chilly at night. And so this time I've basically got the same gear I had before. Got a new walking pole because I gave my other ones away. Just another cheap one, €10 it cost me. And I have my camping gear, and to be honest, I didn't really want to camp now. I'm kind of done with camping this year, but the reality is it's really busy at the moment. I mean, I was looking on booking.com and there's just nothing really. I think Melida, in about 2.5 days' time, that seems to have a few beds. It's not a place people tend to stop off at. It's kind of a halfway stage, but I'll almost certainly stop there. And I guess I'll just be relying on public albergues, the ones that you can't book. I've got no idea whether they're full or not. I suspect a lot of people probably wouldn't do this unless they could book ahead, knowing it's probably quite busy. So maybe the public ones will have space, but we'll have to see how we go. At least I'll have somewhere to sleep. I mean, I've always got somewhere to sleep with my tent, but like I said, hoping I can find some albergs with some beds. Two more peregrinos enjoying the afternoon. Peace. Oh no! Camino provides. So nice being back in nature. You can probably tell it's the first big climb out Surya, one of them. And I may have lost a bit of fitness. So in the previous video, you would have probably seen me wearing that head net. Quite a few flies around. Obviously, that was a number of weeks ago now. There are a few flies around, but nothing like before. They're not kind of flying in your face or anything like that. So I guess they're all getting ready for the winter as well, whatever they do. Whew. Nice flat bit now. That's good. I had to buy sun lotion today. I'd kind of run out anyway, and where I live in Portugal, I'd probably put it on most of the year, but yeah, definitely need it. I'd cook in this Galicia in October. Yeah, another incentive to come back, apart from the great weather and the fact that I'm very lucky that I can just come back up here, and I work for myself as well, so very flexible with the work and everything. So yeah, big incentive was that, yeah, so early in the year I walked the length of Portugal, and then from the very south to Santiago. And if I complete this next few days, which I'm hoping I will, that means I'll have walked pretty much the entire, almost to France from where I live in the south of Portugal, albeit, walking towards Santiago both ways. Not quite into France. I kind of regret that. I may have mentioned that on a previous video, that I started in Pamplona, but anyway, it is what it is, but pretty proud of myself. I think it will be over 1,000 miles, 1,700 kilometers, 1,600, all in for the summer, so I'll be pretty happy with that. So there's Casa Barbadillo, some pilgrims there. Going out. Some more there. I didn't really expect to see anyone this time in the afternoon, but yeah, so it says there you can get a passport stamp, credential. I took one I had a café con leche just before I left at Sarria and took a stamp there. So, because obviously I didn't stay there last night, I stayed there a few weeks ago. Beautiful views. Palm trees, Galicia. So up ahead is a albergue. Looks like a municipal one. Looks like it's open. And just one person sitting outside. Guess there's a few more inside, but kind of encouraging that there's not a whole load of people there. We'll have a look anyway. So I have a little rest area here with a tap. It's been a while since there's been any water come out of there. And there's some water in there as well, which is kind of green. 3 more pilgrims, peregrinas, heading pretty swiftly towards Santiago. Yeah, I've seen about 10 pilgrims today. Kind of surprised so I'd see any this time of the day, but yeah, there's still a few of us out here. Yeah, it's still very green, but you can just start to tell the colours of the autumn season. I guess autumn's quite late here in Spain. As so often is the case, the Camino provides. You can see the wind turbine going very slowly around. There's just hardly any wind at all down here. Maybe up there there's a little bit. 102 kilometers, Santiago. Just starting to cool down a little, but not much. It's still pretty warm. I've done about 11 kilometers so far this afternoon. Out of shape. So it looks like it's all downhill to Porto Marin, pretty much. Good little information board. So there she is, 100 kilometers to Santiago. Pretty sure that this marker had way more graffiti on last time, but obviously it's got a fair bit on now. All a bit unnecessary really, but anyway, there she is. That dog just crept up behind me. Gave me a fright of my life. So here you go. 99.93 kilometers to Santiago.